I'm Stuart Bloor. This week I'm after my favourite fish, the perch, and I'm spinning for them. I love that style of angling. It's brilliant when a fish hits the lure, isn't it? Anyway, on this occasion there's a lot of weed in the lake, and so I'm going for a #1 Mepps Agglia. It's just a small lure, and the reason I'm going for a small one is because if I go for a 3 or 4 even, it will sink quicker and it will get into the weed. So with a small #1, it gives me that extra second or so when I cast out to start to retrieve, so that I keep my spinner, keep my lure just above the weed level. First fish of the session. In fact, he took it as the lure hit the water, and I didn't even think I had a fish, and I thought I'd caught into some weed or whatever it was floating on the surface, and it was only after a few turns of the handle I realised I was into a fish. Another one bites the dust, just a small one, mind you, a little bit bigger than the first perch I caught. Marginally so though. There it is. Mind you, doesn't matter the size, does it? They're just beautiful, amazing fish. And this one is perfection in miniature. I'll just move to another swim, and second cast, my third perch of the session, and they're getting bigger. At this rate I might get a 2-pounder by the end of the night. And there's that one again. Getting bigger, but still beautiful, aren't they? Small perch. Mind you, I say by the end of the night I'm on here for an hour. That's the great thing about spinning. You can arrive at the water's edge and actually be fishing within seconds. I keep my rod made up, take off the Velcro band, put the 2 pieces of the rod together, cast out, and away you go. You don't have to pre-bait, you don't have to build up a swim, you don't have to mess around with all bits and pieces of tackle. Really light, bag over your shoulder, a rod in one hand and a landing net in the other, and in my case a camcorder as well. It's just a fantastic way of fishing. And for those of you who say, well, I haven't got a lot of time to get out and about on the bank, I'd like to go fishing more, get yourself a little spinning rod for perch. It's amazing how you can fit an extra session in here and there. They are very much shoal fish, and where there's one there's usually another. If you do go spinning, one item of tackle that you definitely need: forceps. I've got a small pair there, as you can see, which are ideal for perch, this sort of fishing that I'm doing today. In fact, the perch that I just caught, that needed the forceps. It won't take the spinner down in the same way that they will take a worm or a maggot right into their stomach, but there are occasions when you need these to make the job much easier, and of course safer for the fish as well. This one, another small fish, came right at the edge. In fact, it surprised me because I was about to lift the lure from the water. I was looking away, and suddenly this commotion, well, as much commotion as a fish that size can make. Anyway, I'm unhooking it now, and it's going back. I'm getting plenty of action, that's for sure, but they're all about this size. Not that I'm complaining, of course. Back on the same lake for my final outing of the week, and the weed problem doesn't seem too bad in the spot where I've set up, so I've gone for a #3. Still a Mepps Agglia, still with a silver spoon, but this is actually my preferred size for perch. And my first cast, after just saying those words, my first cast after that introduction, a perch. And another fish on as well, next cast. I'm doing well. This is a better one as well. And as you can see there, still got the lure in its mouth. Perch #3 on. Lovely. This one is the smallest of the 3 so far this evening, as you can see. It just goes to show that just putting a bigger lure on doesn't mean to say you'll necessarily just catch bigger perch. Next cast, and I'm into my 4th fish. It's another nice one as well. Certainly not complaining with fish like that. Now just imagine you've never been spinning in your life, and you think, I'll have a go at that. You buy yourself the gear, you go out, and you have the sort of start that I'm having this evening. You're probably thinking, hey, this is easy, this spinning lark. Well, believe me, like any other types of fishing, you have your red letter days, and you also have your outings when you think there's nothing in there. Oh, I'm into another one now. But tonight is definitely a red letter day. And there it is, complete with Mepps Agglia still in its mouth. Brilliant. I'm really enjoying this. Mind you, having said that, I'll enjoy it anyway, even if I didn't catch. I think I ought to just leave the camcorder running, hadn't I? I've got another one on. This is turning into a very, very good evening. Another one bites the dust. Amazing really, isn't it, that I had such a slow start to the week. Not in terms of fish I've been catching all along, but in terms of quality. And then right at the end, well, last session really, the quality started to increase. Definitely noticed a big size jump in the fish caught, culminating in this final outing. It just goes to show, into another one, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Just keep at it. I'll tell you something, I must have a whole load of fish in front of me. And here it is. A lot of them are about the same size. It's not the same fish, honestly. And even though the fish may be in front of me, it's still not, into another one, first cast. It's still not chuck it and chance it, is it? Oh, that one came out. You know, that felt like an even better fish, that did actually. It's still not chuck it and chance it, is it? Because I'm on a big lake, and you've still got to work out beforehand where you're going to fish, because I can't fish the whole lake tonight. I'm only fishing a particular part. So it's all about watercraft really, and even with spinning, it's still about working the bait, and it's still about presenting it in the right way, choosing the right spinner, all of those factors. Like any other types of fishing, it's not, as I say, chuck it and chance it. Another one. I saw it take the spinner right down there in the clear water. Brilliant, isn't it? Even when you lose one, it's still brilliant. Yep, into another one. About to net it. Hopefully this one doesn't come off after two that I've done. It's not a very nice dorsal fin, is it, at all? Never mind, it's just appearance as far as the fish is concerned. And fish don't suffer from vanity issues like human beings do. That's for sure. Anyway, the great thing about this sort of fishing, as I've said all along in the video, is just get your rod, get out and have an hour. And today I've been down the Wolves and I've watched us win. And I've come back home. It's a Saturday, of course. And I've had some beans on toast and I've popped out down to the lake for an hour. Perfect, isn't it? Making the most of every opportunity, really. And I've still got my Wolf season ticket. There it is. Just a little card these days, smart card. In the old days we used to have books and vouchers that they used to rip out at every game, but now it's all digital and all modern, isn't it? And another fish on as well. I'm having such an hectic time. I haven't exactly left the camcorder running, but I have left it flipped open. All I need to do is hit the record button. And do you know something? I've actually lost count of how many fish I've had so far this evening. That's a nice problem to have, isn't it? And yet another fish. That fish just was great because I saw it in the water, it took a lunge, just missed and it sort of let it go, and then it came back for more. And I caught it right down at the side. Brilliant. Oh, and another one. This is getting something, isn't it? Well, I've had a fair few fish, haven't I, so far? And again, I've had about 4 casts then, actually, without a fish. I thought something was wrong. Only joking. Oh, this is a lively one. It's not big, though. Just the same as the others. Well, I say big, they're all right, aren't they? I've just returned that, didn't bother showing it to the camera. There's only so much cast, show a fish, cast, show a fish that you can do, isn't there? But one thing I do hope is that the excitement is coming through and the real thrill of spinning for perch. It's brilliant. Well, I'm having a great evening so far, and another one bites the dust. After having such a great time on the lake, it would take something really special, wouldn't it, to pull me away. Anyway, 3 little owls in the woods behind me, that's special. I've just come up and I spotted one that I managed to capture on camcorder. The other 2, along with that one now, have disappeared into the trees, so I'm hoping to get some better footage, but whether I do or not, I've captured it up here, and that's what really counts. I didn't capture the little owls on film. I heard them, they were going off deeper into the woods, but never mind. I did see 10 swifts, well about 10 swifts feeding over the lake. This is very late for swifts. They're obviously on migration and stopped over because they weren't in migrating flight like I've seen so many of them in the last couple of weeks. They were hanging around having a good nosh up before they head off to Africa. Anyway, the video comes to an end now. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, why not share it? I'd really appreciate that if you do, and I'll see you next week. And if you're out and about yourself, tight lines.